Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Marquez. Okay, everybody. We're not on Periscope tonight because hey, Rachel. We're not on Periscope tonight because my iPad, the sound is not working for any app or function. So we're only on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm going to miss Periscope, people. Oh, my goodness. All right. So, okay, that's going to stay on the floor until I need it. Tonight is Flip the Script Friday. And for those of you who know, Flip the Script Friday is when I don't come with a predetermined topic, and people can come with their questions or topics, concerns. It could be something general, something that you always, questioned or wondered about and want to see other people's opinions. Hey, Jeff. Or it can be something that's personal, something that you know of and you want help and direction on, whether it's for a child in your life, whether you're an educator, and something that you have noticed in the classroom, or, hi, Mark, or it could be anything, really. So it's really up to you guys. And you have a chance to enter into our $100 Visa raffle. So we're going to be having a raffle, and we'll let you know when the raffle is going to happen. We're going to do the raffle on live. It is for a $100 Visa gift card to be used at your discretion. Doesn't have to be used for school stuff. I know this is a little pro education group, but you can spend your winnings on anything you want. All you have to do is type a question. Okay. Hey, Heidi. Okay, this is our first night on YouTube. Say hey, YouTube people. And let's see. And I can't go on my other device because all my devices are being used. Oh, I can go on. I can go on this. I can go on YouTube. Hey, Terry. Now, Flip the Script Fridays is usually pretty poppin'. People come on and they make statements about education. They ask questions. But seems like you guys are liking the topics much better. I'm checking in on Periscope to see if we have any questions from there. Hey, Tyrone. Hey, Daryl. Welcome. Tonight's Flip the Script Friday. If you have any questions, general questions, specific questions, questions specific to a particular situation, go ahead and shoot it in the text box. Okay. Seems like you guys only respond to controversial. Hey, Sandra. Controversial types of topics, right? Those things seem to get you going. But tonight, on Friday night, it's an open forum. Hey, DJ. So if you have any questions pertaining to education, pre-K to 12, just go ahead and type it in the text box. All questions people who have questions are entered into our $100 Visa raffle. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so on Snapchat, somebody that I knew from Periscope, he's a young adult. He has no kids whatsoever. He's a young professional. Hey, Crazy. He's a young professional. And he's like, why do you always send me this spam? So I put on Periscope. I don't know if you can see this. Hey, Judith. Someone called my educational question spam. Ain't nothing false or ain't nothing fake or I can't read backwards. Mysterious about wanting to increase awareness. Child. Now I respect that. This is because, hey, Brandy, if you're not into education, if that's not your thing, that's okay. And I'll respect his wishes because I just, hit everybody that I have on Periscope. And I get a lot of responses. So I'm not going to stop that technique, but for him, I definitely won't send it to him. So I respect that. Okay, I'm trying to see anybody else on. People responded. But that's it. Yeah, so you guys are only responding to like controversial, thought-provoking topics. So that's good feedback. That's good data. Okay, so does anybody have a question? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anybody have a question? Hey, Sue. Okay, tonight is Flip the Script Friday. There's no premeditated topic. Hey, Michelle, long time no see. I saw you in the van few months ago, first Ave. But on Flip the Script Friday, I don't come with a pre-designated topic. Tonight is just for people to ask their individual questions. Sometimes people don't want to interrupt the topic, or the topic is interesting, they engage in it, and they actually have a personal question about their child or a child that they know. Hey, Michael. Hey, cuz. So feel free to go ahead and shoot. If you want a little bit of anonymity. Oh my God. If you want to be anonymous, Lord, you can call the office line. It's 203-306-9833. And I can take your question over the phone. Some things might be a little bit sensitive and people may not want their name attached to the question, right? So we provide that for you as well. You can always send in your questions via email too at info@littlepearleducationgroup.com. I prefer that over the inbox on social media because I don't always see the inboxes, and a lot of times because I get spam, people may be like down at the bottom and I don't see it. So it's always best to hit me up directly. And a lot of my posts will ask you if you have any comments or questions, put them down. So you can leave it there as well. And that way I can go back to it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about me. I'm Randa. I am the lead consultant at Little Pearl Education Group. I've been an educator in the state of Connecticut for over 2 decades. And I have an uncanny ability to get kids to do make enormous gains, academic gains, social gains. And I have been a leader in various schools. And under my leadership, I have ran the most progressive and successful departments because of my ability to really understand students and understand the populations in which I serve. And so what I found is that public schools, whether they're, I should say schools in general, have a particular culture that's anti-Black, anti-brown, even if the school is majority Black and brown, right? Because there's a history that is underneath the educational system and the creation of the educational system that does not speak to us. right? And so it's much harder for us to make gains. And then a lot of these schools, there's also a culture of preconceived, stereotypical notions of what Black and brown students can do, and that there's only a few that can excel and do well, and the bar and expectations are lowered for the rest, right? And so I know me, I know us, I know education, so I never come from that perspective. And that's why I can make gains, because I plan around what I know. I plan around success. Hey, Kitty. So I took myself out of education. It does not set well with me. Seeing and viewing the things that I have seen and viewed over 2 decades at various schools, public charter schools, private schools, magnet schools. I've seen so much that's happening behind the scenes. It would blow your mind. I do have some videos on YouTube that does explain some of those stories. Hey, Kenny. Hey, Tatiana. And I have some stories on YouTube that explains and details some of those stories. I don't use students' names, because it's not my business to put their business out there. But I use them as examples of how dangerous and how systemic the discrimination is for brown, Black, and poor, economically challenged families and students. For some of them, it's a war zone. They're actually being attacked. Parents are actually, and when I say attacked, I'm really talking about like mentally and emotionally, but trust, there's been some physical attacks too by adults, and they get away with it. Right? And so we're sending our kids to these schools, and we're not really looking at the true structure of these schools historically or contemporarily. And we're hoping the best for our kids, right? And so even if your kid is not someone who has been pinpointed, your kid is seeing it. Whether your kid is conscious to it or not, your kid's brain is picking up on it. And so they're picking up on, their value based upon what they're seeing in that school, happening to kids that look like them, act like them, talk like them, come from the same neighborhoods as them. And so it's extremely, extremely unhealthy. So it's really important that parents really get into the know. So I would really advise you to look at some of those stories. They're extremely interesting. And because the school systems have millions of dollars in budget, and they have monetary funds set aside for lawsuits, and it's not their money in particular, they don't care. Hey, Aya, they don't care about your lawsuit. They don't care about doing the right thing. They care about keeping the status quo. And they can follow federal and state mandates on paper, hey, Reggie, to make it look like they're doing something to help. But behind the scenes, they're just saying, oh, no, Joey just don't have it. Yeah, he just does not have it. Oh, my God. His family life is so rough. Oh my God, his parents are the worst. They are not supportive, but then they want him to be able to do X, Y. I mean, they are saying this, okay? And sometimes worse, right? So people don't realize what type of environment they're sending their kids to. And this isn't just in the inner city. This is on the outskirts. This is on the suburbs. This is in the suburbs also, right? And sometimes people who come from the inner city, they want a better life, so then they move to the outskirts. Hey, David, they move to the outskirts thinking that their kid is going to have a better opportunity and a better chance, and it just doesn't turn out to be so. So people have to be extremely knowledgeable and extremely careful, and that's why we do this work. So for the people who just came in, this is Flip the Script Friday. There's no predetermined topic. It's all about you. Anything, any questions you want to ask, something that you've been wondering about, whether it's a general question or whether it's a question that has to do directly with a child in your life or a child in your classroom, if you're an educator, whatever the case may be. You know, sometimes teachers have a really great heart and they want to make an impact, but because the discrimination is systemic, sometimes they get caught up. Hey, Leslie. Sometimes they get caught up in the school policies and procedures and how other educators and professionals, you know, handle situations, and they're not getting the success that they really want, and they don't have the direction. So if you know a teacher who, you know, wants to make a greater impact, definitely send my way. There's absolutely no fee. We're here every Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday, and we're going to throw in some Saturdays. We're actually on tomorrow at noon, so we're going to try some daytime hours. So does anybody have any questions? Questions that are entered, will that person who asked the question, no matter what platform it is, will receive 2 raffle tickets, and the raffle is for a $100 Visa gift card. And so, you know, Visa is basically accepted everywhere, so you can use it on whatever you want. So hey Alvin, so does anybody have any questions, general questions, specific questions pertaining to a particular child? You can also call in at 203-306-9833. You can also email at info, at littlepearleducationgroup.com. All my contact information is in the description box. So, okay. So while you're typing your question, somebody type it? Anybody? Jeez. Nobody has not one question. Something that you have wondered about, something that you are interested in. It could be anything. And this is pre-K. I've answered questions pre-K to 12. But my experience, hey Tasha, my experience spans K through 12. I'm just checking the other. I almost pulled a Kanye. Okay, so anybody have any questions? Like, jeez. And it could be a topic that you're wondering about. It could be anything. Just jump starts things off. Why are you laughing, Kitty? Hey, Rich. Okay. Okay, Kenny is saying, I think the school system is outdated as far as what's being taught. Make it real world. Do you think that? Do you think that anything will change? Definitely. I mean, I think that like globally there is, and especially nationally, there is a consciousness that is brewing. When Trayvon Martin, that incident first happened, there were so many people of color. I know. Okay, type your question. Type your question, Jenny. Type it. I know you can't hear me, but type it. I know. I'll go. I know. Type it and I'll type it. Okay. And people, brown and black people during Trayvon Martin, when it first happened, were really questioning his character. You know, they automatically believed that George Zimmerman had every right to shoot and kill this young black male because he was a young black male. So we internalize a lot of those negativities. But because of social media and a lot of education that has gone on through the various incidents and how that information has come out and become public and people are sharing that, and they're actually seeing the negativity. There's a new consciousness that's going on. You know, I see it on social media all the time. There's more people who are verbal people who were anti-Trey Martin, really didn't believe in him. They believe now. And then when new stuff is coming out, they're more conscious. So I think there's going to be change that's happening, but within education, it has to be very specific. It has to be targeted. And that's why I'm doing this work. It does have to be real world. So it's like when I start my school, we're going to have one in terms of the academics is going to be real world. I always attach real world to academics. There's no other way to do it. But I want to even go beyond that. And I want to give kids real world practicum. So they take the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic that they learn in school, and they actually do field trips and internships that's attached to that learning, right? So they can actually use it in the real world. So, you know, and once someone becomes successful in it, then that is mimicked, right? But it has to happen, right? And people have to be educated on it. It has to become a choice. So how long it's going to take, not sure. And because we have so many immigrants coming into the country, they're going to see that the educational system is not going to serve them either. So hopefully with more direct consciousness within education and the issues within education, that change is going to come. I'm a firm believer. Otherwise, I wouldn't even bother doing this. So great question, Kenny. And yes, it does have to be real world. Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, and that comment. Okay, anybody else? I know Periscope, you can't hear me. I know Periscope, sorry. Oh, I could have put, whatchamacallit, in Periscope. Oh, I could have put the whatchamacallit in Periscope. Okay, so everybody is dead tonight. So that's great feedback. I probably need to get questions well in advance for Flip the Script Fridays. And it's still summer, so this is our first Flip the Script Friday during the summer. So people may not be, you know, on, because it's Friday night. Everybody was popping on Wednesday and Sunday. So we'll try again. That. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks, YouTube. This is our first night, so let's see how we do. and we'll end that stream. Thanks. Who are you? Instagram.